speak your mind, speak your mind, speak your mind.
Speak your mind, speak your mind, speak your mind.
To speak your mind.
Speak your mind.
On the 9th of August 1956, more than 20,000 South African women from different races marched to the Union buildings to protest against what is known as the Pass Laws. They stood in silence for 30 minutes before singing a song that was composed to honor this occasion. Watind Abafazi, Watind Umbokoto. You strike a woman, you strike a rock. And 54 years later, the same phrase is used to describe the courage and strength of South African women. A warm welcome to you all. My name is Jane Kay, and I'm bringing you Speak Your Mind from the warm studios of Dean TV. Today I'm joined in studio a few of the most amazing women. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
My first question to you all is, in the 21st century that we're living in, what is it like to be a woman?
Well, I love that we are in this 21st century where we can wear pants because, there was a law up until maybe a few years ago in France where women couldn't wear pants, things like that. We have freedoms, and it's because of the women in our past that have, fought for these freedoms. So it's a great time to be a woman. But also, I find that women are judged very harshly in this time, not just by men. It's not just by men. It's by other women. It's by transvestites. It's by gay men. Everyone is looking at women, judging women, making comments. Women aren't standing together. That's what I'm finding. In moments in history where women were really oppressed, outright it was there, you could see this is what we were fighting. Women stood together, But now it's like women are pitted against each other. And what is that? Is it the patriarchal society that we're living in that has done that to us? I mean, where does the competition come from?
Nicole, what do you think on our topic?
Well, I believe that women are stronger, much more independent. They take care of themselves. They don't need anyone to take care of them. And they're actually building careers. Most of them are going out there, showing their actual worth, which is important. Because a woman showing her worth is much more important than anything else.
And I also think women out there, they're trying their best. Most they get pregnant at very young ages, which is wrong, but it happens. We can't do anything about it. But they try. They raise their children. They become single parents. And if you look at it, children that are raised by single parents, they become stronger because they know their mothers. They take something from nothing and add up so that they can survive. So yeah, we as women, we try so hard. If you are lucky enough to get married, then you're lucky, but still, you have responsibility as a woman. You don't look up to your husband to do this and that. We have careers. We know that we have to raise our children, and yeah, I believe we better than the women back then. Yes, we've improved a lot.
My name is Desiree, and you're watching Speak Your Mind on DNTV.
Not that long ago, let's say 50 years ago, women were seen as minors, and they didn't have the rights that we have today. And we do have that independence. We are not seen as children anymore.
It's happening in our society today. But what is happening is some girls are also continue running after that boy or that guy. That isn't worth anything anymore. The thing is, you've got a baby that you need to take care of. So focus on that and leave the guy. Let him go. It's hard, but at the end of the day, you are a woman and you're strong enough to do it on your own.
But do you feel as women, are we aware of what we're actually worth? Because who knows why they're running after these men? This man could be implanting that she's worthless, that she's nothing. Without him, she's nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, do we know our worth? Are we aware of what we're actually worth? You know what I'm saying? Are we?
A lot of women, a lot of young girls especially, are not aware of what they're worth. Because when we look at the men today, the boys, the guys, they believe that to get in a woman's pants, they want a trophy. And they go and actually go and boast about it to other boys. And that's not right. Because you know what? It hurts the most if you don't chase him. He's gonna come running back like a lost dog. He's gonna come begging at your door. The only thing you need to do is take that stand and say, I made a mistake, but my baby's on the way. The baby isn't a mistake.
Now, women around the world are oppressed. Now, when I say oppressed, I don't mean just in their home. I'm talking about on the outside as well. They go through domestic violence. We're talking about South Africa, the world at large, you know, and teenage pregnancies as well. Now, as a woman, how am I able to persevere through this? Not to persevere through this, in some cases it being my baggage, in other cases it being a phobia of it happening to me. How am I able to step up or step out of a situation that I am in?
Okay, a lot of ladies that is in this position feels it's their fault. They need to first look at themselves and say, this isn't my fault. My partner that I'm with, there's something wrong with him. Because he's lifting his hands. Why? He's not happy with himself. And if, take it for someone that's been in this situation, take it from me. You're in that situation and you're trying to get out. And the more you say it's not right, the more he's trying to prove to you that it is right. He has the right to treat you like that. You're not an animal. You are a human being. So you take the stand and you get out of that situation. It's hard because a woman loves hard. Very hard.
What I find though is, yes, you can do exactly what you said, you know, but I feel that the society that we live in, it's like they are just like that man. They don't you go to the police station, for example. I feel like there's no actual remedy. I feel like other people are pointing fingers at the women. I don't feel like society actually stands up and takes care of their women.
Speak your mind on Dean TV.
That is true because you do get judgmental people, like you said earlier. But it also depends on the woman. She has to be strong enough to ignore what the people are saying about
No, but you
her.
can't always say, you know, just ignore what people are saying. Not everybody is that strong. Sometimes people do need support.
Yes, yes.
So where do we draw the line to what we take in from society and what we don't take in as women? Where can we draw the line and say, okay, I know that I am not like such and such, and I know that I am capable of doing so and so. Because on a daily basis, whatever you do, people will talk about you whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And they will
This is true.
they will judge you in every way possible that they can. Do you hear what I'm saying? So, as a woman, I feel we also need to, be able to build not an exact wall, but just a see-through wall around us and say, I know my worth, I know what I'm worth. Don't listen to society all the time.
True.
Until when will you listen to society?
For me, I feel like I can make the conscious decision. I'm not going to listen to society. I mean, I have my own views on things and I am very opinionated, but you can't help if you're receiving things from all angles. Some of that will seep through that wall that you've put up. And until I think we need to change the mindsets of people around us. We can't just block everybody out, but maybe start, if we really want to make a difference, start educating one person at a time.
Speak your mind on Deen TV. It's an Islamic, it's our religion. Be proud of who you are if you are Muslim.
But don't you feel we should rather teach our women how to think or how to respond to negative criticism rather than trying to blame it on society and say they need to put themselves together first?
But we
Because
are
how long
part
will
of
it take us to do
society.
that? That is correct. We are part of society, but I mean we need to be realistic now. We need to see.
The problem we have as women, we don't stand together ourselves. We're here to criticize, we're here to judge. So people they would, for instance, in a relationship, someone is in a very abusive relationship, they will stick there because they are scared what people are going to say if they married. Okay, I'm going to get divorced and people are going to laugh at me and this and that. At the end of the day, she's the one who's unhappy. The other people are happy with their lives, or even not happy, but they're making fun out of her. So we have a problem of not standing together as African sisters, of which maybe if we would have some support groups out there, maybe they would help. I feel we don't have enough support groups, because like the other day I was talking to my mother about the teenage pregnancies, and some teenagers get pregnant and then the boyfriend runs away, and he either says you do an abortion, or that is not my child. So she's alone there, she doesn't know what to do. Some are even scared of their parents. Some go to those places to do the abortion, which is wrong. They end up losing their lives. Something goes wrong, and in future they won't be able to have children. You see, their future is just destroyed because of that one boy who messed up their lives. So it's all, I think, if we have enough support system out there as sisters, support groups, at least if you're pregnant, you don't have someone to look after you, and you see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more girls who are in the same situation, then you would find a way to deal with it. You would talk about it and discuss and see the way forward. But if you're alone and you don't have anyone to talk to, if you talk to that person, they will just make a laughing stock out of you, then it gets difficult. So I believe it all starts with the spirit of Ubuntu. It's gone. I don't know where it's gone to, but it's gone. It's not there anymore, and it makes things very hard for our sisters out there.
So like I was asking earlier on, who do we teach to be more stronger, or where do we start the preaching or the teaching? Do we tell the young girls out there about, because somewhere in the line something is going wrong. I feel it's not that they don't know what to do or how it's done, or I feel it's more how to be able to be strong as a woman and abstain from certain things at a certain age. And I'm also not sure if it's because also there are not enough activities for teenagers to do after school. You know what I'm saying? To keep them busy. Because when you come to an age of teenage, you become busy, you always want to do this and that. And sometimes being at the wrong place at the wrong time may lead to different things as well. So what do we do? Do we teach our boys to not, or do we teach our women to become something of themselves? What is the way forward from here?
Well, hi everybody, I'm Taralee, and this is Speak Your Mind on Dean TV. I feel that we should teach our girls that they are enough, okay? And I feel like little boys should be taught from a young age. The dialogue needs to change. I mean, when even I have been guilty of this in the past. If I see a guy acting in a silly way, I will maybe say, he's acting like a girl. Or other people will say, yeah, he's such a girl, Or I saw him crying yesterday. He's such a girl. We need to change the way we speak about people. Because why is being a girl a bad thing? It's amazing to be a girl. It's amazing to be a woman. Because you are strong. And we need to instill that in our young girls. It needs to start there. But also for boys, they should be taking that as a compliment. Wow, she called me a girl.
Okay, now, do we have people to look up to? As young girls, are there people that they can look up to and be inspired from, or be able to take up, people in our own country, South Africa to be exact? Do we have phenomenal women that we can use as examples to be, to be teaching the younger generation or our fellow sisters to be saying, it is possible to do something?
Speak Your Mind on Dean TV.
Because imagine if I'm coming out of a house where my father has been treating my mother not the right way, and I've been taught that being a woman, you need to do everything, and you need to be able to wake up. If I say jump, you must jump. If I say don't, you're not allowed to do that, don't do it. If I say you can't go and study what you want to do, then you can't. Do you get what I'm saying? How am I able to leave that house and still and not be locked in what I have been taught in my household? Because early on you were saying we need to tell women that they're enough. But if I'm coming from a broken house, how am I able to see that I am enough?
That's actually quite a difficult question, because there are so many women, and you've given me a scenario now. If I'm thinking about a little Jane somewhere far away that I can't reach, like who do they have to look up to? And there maybe aren't as many programs like this where people are speaking their mind, and maybe not everybody reads. The problem I have with female role models today is that there are strong women in our society. I mean, we do have women in leadership, women in politics, but I see them struggling as well because of the system. The entire system needs to change. Even if it's the governmental system, I'm sorry, maybe I don't agree with the way that our country is run. I mean, you were talking about the spirit of Ubuntu. I don't see it either. When I walk outside, I don't see the spirit of Ubuntu.
Okay, since we're speaking about leadership, women leading, when we look at gender equality, and we look at women in our country, in our continent, in the world, are we able to, do we have potential candidates who we can entrust to not only lead us women as a pack, but a nation, a country? Have we reached that level where we can entrust other women, or women in general, to be able to lead a nation or a country? Do you think that there are possible candidates out there? And if they are, have they been given the platform, or have they been denied the platform to be able to become a leader?
Good day, I'm Nicole Claassen. You're watching Speak Your Mind on DNTV. Okay, Jane, I feel that women in leadership, I mean, this is high up our ranks now. I feel that they are a puppet on a string. They're still being told what to say. They're not speaking their own minds. I would like them to actually stand up. Like, let's say the politicians. I would like the women to actually stand up and say, this is what I think. This is what I would like to be within the presidency. So when a woman becomes the president in South Africa, she's not going to be told, okay, but you need to do this by her advisors that are mostly men anyway. It's going to be her saying what she thinks and how she feels to run the country. Instead, for me, it feels at the moment that most women in leadership are still puppets.
Are they capable of standing by themselves?
I believe they can. I believe they should. I believe they should stand up and be stronger.
We need to remember that this is a man's world, and everything we try and do, they will always remind us that, but you can't do this, but you can't do this. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So when we look at women we empower each other, we must also be able to see that, is she actually capable of standing by herself without the support of men around her? Because then she's the woman that we want to look up to. Do you understand what I'm saying? But for as long as, and also, is there a platform for her to not be puppeted? Do you understand what I'm saying? Is she able to stand firm and say, I do not have to listen to a man, or I do not have to, my advisor doesn't have to be a man for me to be in this position, for I am capable by myself and I am enough? Do we know our worth within us?
Hi everyone, my name is Anneling Nabecha. This is Speak Your Mind on DNTV. I think we will never really know, because we are never really given a platform whereby we just be ourselves without males around us. We will never be sure until we're given that chance, because even when the time we've once had a female deputy president in South Africa. Yes, she had her time, and till today we don't know how far she could have taken us, because she was never really given the chance to be a president. Instead, they elected someone else. So I believe men, they always have, they want us to know that they are men, and they don't really want to give us a chance, even if they see the potential in us, but still they want us to be below men. So that's the problem. We will never really know if, yes, they can do it. We can do it without them, because we know, deep down we know we can do it, because I believe there's nothing that females can't do in this world.
That's true.
We are very powerful, we are very strong. If you want to know someone strong, it's a woman. A woman can, back in the days, back in the Eastern Cape, a woman would get married to a guy he doesn't even know. She would be taken to that family, she would have kids, the guy would go to Johannesburg or Cape Town to work. he would have another wife. The wife at back home would know about the other wife, but she would still continue raising the kids. No money coming from Cape Town or Joburg. She would do chores, she would do this and that to raise their kids. That's being strong. I believe there's nothing we cannot do in this world. But with the power that's above us, then we will never really
I
know.
also feel like tradition is often used as an excuse to keep women in their place, you know, for the sake of tradition.
That's true.
In South Africa, there are strong traditions in this country. We are a secular state, but, you know, there are very strong traditions.
And how are we able to stand against our tradition? How can we stand against tradition versus, is it 21st century womanhood? Because tradition comes a long way.
It does.
It's not
You
easy
understand what
because
I'm
you
saying?
can't just change it.
But that comes with changing the mindset,
Yeah.
you know?
It's true.
That is correct. So what I'd also like to ask you guys is, like we're talking about earlier on about, as a woman, is she able to stand in leadership by herself? And you said earlier on that we need support groups. We need to support each other in what we do.
I
You
feel
know,
like that is lacking.
As women, we're very quick to look down on each other.
Yeah.
We might not be aware of it, but we're very quick to see how other people are sinning, and we want to gossip about it because we want our sins to not look as bad. You know, we fail at empowering each other.
Yes.
And if
What-
we could do that, if we could do that and go forward, I promise you South Africa would be a much better place.
Whatsoever happened to sisterhood? Whatsoever happened to us
I
standing
know that
together?
that is something that I see is lacking. It's a big thing. We need to have each other's backs. We need to stick together.
But you see, what I think is more important to some women is the attention of the guy. That is more important. And if we realize that, you know, the attention of the guy isn't that important, your best friend or your friend or your circle, your sister, that is actually more important, that bond that you're building, not the guy.
It's true, because those people will always stick by you.
Yeah.
Even if the guy leaves you or is around, they will always be there for you. Of which we forget about that, and we just choose to be. We see each other as competition. We see each other as enemies, and we choose to judge each other. Of which it will never work.
So how do we
won't take us
expect?
anyway?
How do we expect to lead? How do we expect to be powerful and strong if we can't even stand together as an army and fight this world that is being called a man's world? At the end of the day,
By reaching the young people.
Yeah.
to our fellow women
When they're
watching, out there, what piece of advice would you give them?
My advice would be, like to young girls, the boyfriend isn't important. The boyfriend that has more than one girlfriend, don't fight over that boy. He's not worth anything. You are worth way more than what that boy is. So stand up for yourself. Say, you are good for nothing. I am moving on.
I say empower yourself. Education, read books, believe in your inner strength, find what is great about yourself, and use that to move forward. And stop the judgment. Stick together.
Not so long ago, I have a 10-year-old child, a girl. I was telling her I thought it was time to just have that little talk about boyfriends. And I told her, you know what, baby girl, I want you to go to school. I want you at school to focus on your books. Yes, there are boys. Yes, you will like a boy in class or at school, but do not make him disturb you. You should know what you are there for. You don't want to end up like me, because look at me and you. I live with you and your father is not here because we're no longer together. You don't want that in your life. You want a husband and your children in the same house. Because this thing of you visiting him and coming back home, and it's not cool. I know you enjoy it, but as you grow up, you'll see it's not how it's supposed to be. So if you stick to your books and you know what you want in life, have a career and forget about boys or men. It will come, the time will come when you get someone to maybe you'll get married to someone one day, but we won't all get married, unfortunately. Not all of us will have husbands in this life. Just stand your ground, know what you want, and be responsible.
Remember, books before boys, because boys bring babies. We have come to the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm Khadija Isaacs and Speak Your Mind on Deen TV.